failure is important because sometimes failure break you out of a rhythm. It needs to be cut, and sometimes you're not gonna like it. It's gonna suck. The real security is in God. Surround yourself around stuff that's gonna help you get better. If that relationship not right for you, get out of it. But definitely pray. Keep your eyes and your mind focused on God because crazy things will come from it.
Listen, y'all, we back with a special guest. We here with Wolf.
You know it.
Before we get started, Wolf, I need to give you your flowers for multiple reasons. One, we wouldn't have the podcast the way it is if it weren't for you, bro. I swear to God.
That's tight.
People don't know that. And I think it's important for me to say that on the podcast.
That's tight.
You were the person that like I legit came to for like counsel on like, yo, how do I get this? How do I get that? Like, how do I set up my travel setup? So now I can go anywhere. Like, I literally can be anywhere, bro.
Yeah.
I can pod wherever I want to.
It's a light setup too.
Like legit.
It's like one bag, right?
Yeah, it's one. So like literally, remember I told you like I wanted to make sure everything fit in one bag. So I have a suitcase that will carry the lights, and I can carry my clothes in the suitcase with the lights and like the tripods and da-da-da. Then the cameras, go in the bag. You feel me? So like, bro, so I literally suitcase, check it.
Yeah.
Camera bag is with me.
Yeah.
If I want to carry on, I can carry that with me too.
Yeah.
You feel me? So like, I legit be traveling and I can pod and do whatever the hell I want. And I have the comfortability of not having I can create a studio in any space, basically.
Absolutely.
So I wanted to give you your flowers for that.
Thank you, bro.
Of course, no problem, bro. Second thing that I want to give you your flowers for, bro. We were talking, I did your pod halfway up.
5th episode.
Yeah, I think I did, exactly. 5th episode, I was like, yo, bro, I always have conversations with people about like, when they're first starting something, like I always give everybody kind of like the same, like, yo, just keep at it. It's not going to really pop overnight. You going to have to put some hours in. You feel me? Like, I feel like we had that conversation about like figuring it out and like what you could potentially do and like strategy and all that kind of stuff. And we were talking about that stuff. And me as a person, you never really know if the person that you're talking to is actually receiving it and if they're going to implement it and do it.
No, for sure.
You feel me? Because a lot of people want stuff, but they don't really want it. But I've seen you like literally put the work in, and it's so beautiful to see how your platform has grown.
Yeah, man.
You talked about people noticing you and like all these different kind of things,
I
bro.
was on the way here.
Yeah, exactly. You feel me? So like that is, to me, that's heartwarming. That's dope. I feel like you're a dope dude, bro.
Thank you, bro.
And I really just want you to continue to do what you're doing.
Thank you, bro.
Continue to be successful in it. And that's why I wanted to have the episode with you. Because you really talk about a lot of great stuff.
Yeah.
But also you're a good guy.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like
For sure.
legit, genuine dude. I don't think that is as common as we would like it to be, especially in this space, bro.
Yeah.
First of all, I know I gave you your flowers, but I want you to tell people who you are, what it is that you do before we get started into everything.
Man, my name is Wolf Taylor. I am an engineer at a Black-owned podcast studio, the biggest Black-owned podcast studio in the world, called WTF Media Studios. And I got to say that because there's a pride that comes from that. And I've been in the content space for about like 4 years now, man. I've been, paying the bills, paying the rent through the content space. Not necessarily from monetizing my own content, but, just working in a content environment, a studio. And I also have a podcast of my own called Halfway Up, and I call it Halfway Up because you're never finished rising. It's like another way of saying it's not about the destination, but it's about the journey. And I've covered topics from making women feel safe again, outgrowing your friends, how to get over feeling lonely, and extending your parents' grace. So I like to talk about things that are like evergreen, as they say, timeless. I'm hoping like 3 years from now, somebody will find a 5-year-old episode and it hit them right where they need it. So I'm always looking for that type of stuff. So that's what we talk about on my podcast.
And we're going to talk about the same stuff here. But before we tap into that, I want you to talk about what this process has taught you about yourself as a man, like going through the content creation process, but also like pursuing your dream. Like you talk about the pride of like working at the largest Black-owned studio.
Shout out Alex and Weezy.
Fact, shout them out for sure. So like, tell me about what this process has taught you about yourself, like going through the process of like.
It taught me that everything, all the cliche things you hear people say, is true.
Like what? Like tell me.
Stay consistent. Just don't stop. You know what I mean? Like, stay focused. All the cliche things, everything you could possibly think about, like, you get to a place along the journey where you realize, oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But there's no fast way to understanding this. There's no fast way out of this. Like you told me, like, what was that, a year ago, almost 2 years ago?
Yeah, probably 2 years ago.
2 years ago. There is no quick way through this. So through this journey, I've just really learned that it really does get greater later.
It does, bro.
It gets greater later.
It does. People see our platform, and I'm like, bro, you don't understand, like, we started Express Yourself Black Man 2020, but I had originally started making content in 2017. Like not even content. I originally started business like in 2017 and never did anything for 3 years. You know, and like after that happened, I was like, I don't know if I really want to continue this anymore. Like I'm good, right? Then but if I stop there, 2020, when it's time for me to start Express Yourself Black Man, and people are actually ready to listen about Black men's mental health and mental health just in general, I don't get that initial push from that engagement to like get us to where we are right now if I decide to stop. You feel me? So like what you're saying, that stay consistent, stay disciplined, stay focused, while it's real cliche.
It's annoying to hear.
Facts.
But it's true.
Yeah.
And there's things the thing is you got to stay consistent because there's milestones and life experiences that make you better that you can't acquire unless you keep going.
Fact.
So if you stop somewhere and it's like, you don't even know, like, that's like maybe 2 weeks ahead from now, you was going to get this knowledge or you was going to hit your head or you was going to learn or you was going to meet this person or you got to stay consistent. It's the only way to reap like the real fruits of the labor.
Fact.
You know what I mean? The fruits of the labor is like, now, like, I'm so confident with this podcast stuff. Now it's like, I wanted to be this person on episode 1 so bad, bro. But it was just literally not possible. When you realize that once you're 2 years into it, it was like, wow, you wanted to be this. You really think highly of yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Think you're going to be a 2-year-old version of yourself day one. It's like confidence is great, but you know, you can't be delusional. Stay consistent. Right?
Yeah, nah, that's a fact, bro. I love how you talked about getting to this version of yourself right now and wanting that so badly.
I wanted that bad. I thought I was him.
Yeah. Wanting that so badly when you first start something. I feel like that's where a lot of us end up as men. Like we want to be the version of ourselves that requires a lot of work, but we don't want to put the work in to get to that version of ourselves. It's like you can't really want something but not be willing to make the sacrifices necessary to get to that stage. And that's what I realized too when it came to like just starting this platform. Like I would tell people, I just had a conversation with somebody about like building a business on social media. And one of the questions she asked me was like, wow, that sounds like a lot. How do you do that and build your business? I was like, you make the time. You just do. Like, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but it's like when people say like, oh, I don't got the time to do it, you telling me you don't want it enough.
For sure.
You don't really want it. You're not that serious about it.
Bro, you gotta make the time. You gotta make the time. Whatever your little particular situation is, like I look at it like everybody is dealt a different deck of cards. No matter how trash your hand is, like me and you could be, the dealer could give us 2 cards. My hand could be way worse than yours.
Facts.
This is what I gotta use.
Facts.
This is what I gotta use.
That's all you have, bro. And the thing about that too is like, I always go back to God. I feel like God gives us exactly what we need when we need it. And anything that we want we don't need. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't have it right now. So if you need it, if you really needed it, you would have it right now. God would have made sure you have it right now. If you don't got it, you don't need it. You need to use what you have right now. If you want to acquire more, steward what you have well.
Come on.
Like that's a law, bro.
Come on.
If you want to acquire more, you got to steward what you have well. So like I always look back to that. Like whenever I'm thinking about like, damn, I don't got this, I start thinking about like, but damn, you got this. Like, are you stewarding what you already have well for God to be like, all right, cool, let me put more on your plate? Because think about it. If you were a parent, you have a child, and you gave your child certain responsibilities, things that they have dominion over.
For sure.
And they're like not handling that properly. Are you going to be like, oh yeah, let me give you some more?
Yeah, you can't give more.
Like, hell no. You're not going to be able to, how am I supposed to give you more and you're not handling what you already have?
My mom used to tell me that all the time. There'd be certain stuff I wanted to do. She was like, if you just did this one thing I asked you to do, then I could give you more. But I can't give you more because you can't even handle this. It's like going to the bank, asking for a loan. It's like, bro, based off your credit and what your credit say, you know what I mean? You got credit with yourself. Like, look what you've been doing with your score, bro. Look what the consistency been. You're not ready for more. You got to go through steps first. Go through your steps and then show me that you can qualify for more, but you can't skip steps.
Yeah. You know what's so interesting about steps too? I know you talked about working at Walmart. Did you work at Jamba Juice?
Yes.
You worked at Jamba Juice. You worked at Walmart. People don't know. People don't know. So take me through those times, bro. I know you also moved from Dallas. Like, take me through those times because I feel like it's important for people to understand the steps. And I also want you to talk about like what made you get to the point where you're like, you know, I got to go to New York and like I'm going to apply to all these different jobs and like why were you so hell bent on doing that?
Well, I'm gonna say this. I'm from Texas. I'm from Dallas. I came to New York City when I was 26. It was always a dream of mine to come to New York because I've always idolized New York City culture. Like,
Okay.
Nas is my favorite rapper. Like, I study Jay-Z, I study Big. Like, hip-hop culture is my blood. You know what I mean? Like, it's funny, like, 6-year-old me, 32-year-old me, they're really the same guy, just with more wisdom. So I've always liked what I've liked. So hip-hop culture always raised the hair on my arms. The type of hip-hop that I love is in New York City. You know what I mean? But New York City was more like a fairy tale of a dream, right? Because I don't know nobody from where I'm from that just upped and left where they was at and just came to a city with no friends, no family, no resources. I don't know nobody who did that. So I'm not thinking at all. I mean, at best, maybe one day I'll visit New York. At best, you know what I mean? But never thinking I would live there. So I always knew I was an artist, bro. But I'm living in a culture, especially back in the day, like where there's not a lot of people making a living from their art. Now you see it everywhere.
Right.
You know what I mean? But there was once upon a time that wasn't really a prolific thing, especially in the South. Like where I'm from, you know, people getting factory jobs or call center jobs, and it's like they, not to say they made it, but it was like, oh, they can pay their bills, they can pay their rent. That's kind of the highest height that I really saw for real.
Damn.
But I'm looking at the internet, I'm looking at people like Wiz, Mac Miller, Currency, and I'm seeing people like make a way. You know what I mean? People having DSLR Canon cameras and stuff like that, and like young people shooting music videos, and I'm like, oh dang, like they flying places, like, oh, they getting money, they getting people sending them free clothes, sending them Stussy, you know, seeing all these different things that completely go against
what you've been taught,
what I've been taught.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because again, people smoking Black and Miles, drinking 211s, chilling outside all day. That's what I know. You know what I mean? So through the internet, I got this inspiration to be like, maybe there's more, bro. And but as I'm trying to figure out if there's more, you know, life is happening. So college is coming up. My parents like, you need to take your ass to college. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, it's art, creativity. Like, my dad like, get you a business science degree or whatever. My mom like, you need to go to college. Go to college. Should have never went. But at that time, you want to honor your parents, you know what I mean? Because you also kind of keep it in mind, maybe I don't know everything. Like, I do want to live a creative lifestyle, but then maybe what if that don't work? You know what I mean? At least just go to college. You can get a degree. You can be successful still. You can keep some type of bread. Right. Long story short, bro, went to college, flunked out, never should have been there. And then once I flunked out, that's when I made a permanent decision. Like, I'm gonna dedicate my life to figuring this creativity out. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but every day I'm gonna be like a detective, and I'm gonna always be on the hunt for it. Like whether that's on the internet, being very involved in like local hip hop scene in my city in Dallas. And so that's how it happened essentially. I dropped out of school and I just hit the ground, bro. And while I'm hitting the ground, I'm working all these different jobs. So I'm working at Walmart. I'm working at Once Upon a Child, the baby store. I'm working at Jamba Juice. I'm working at Hollister. I'm working at my last job was a security officer. But I'm gonna say this real quick. I'm gonna get off that. God was with me the whole time, bro. I'm telling you, because though I'm feeling like a failure because all the people in my family, college people, you know what I'm saying? Like they going to score, they getting the full ride scholarship on sports. Everybody getting a degree. You know, that's the type of family I come from. So I'm like, I'm getting tattoos and shit like that. I'm coming in the house. I'm smoking weed. Like I would say at that time, people was probably like, bro, done lost his mind. He done lost his path. Yeah. But I was always focused though. You know what I mean? Like even I'm working at Walmart and then I meet ASAP Rocky and the whole ASAP mob at the time. And I tell Rocky like, bro, I'm gonna meet you again one day. I could say this now because he's not there anymore, but the same floor that we recording on, the 5th floor, his office was right there on the 5th floor. And I done ran into ASAP Rocky like 3 times in the elevator, just me and him. You know, we're just talking. Of course, he don't remember that moment, but it's just like little things like that let me know, even though I was at Walmart stocking makeup and deodorant and shit. And I like, there was times where I was just like, bro, like I'm around all these people who don't want more for themselves, bro. You know what I mean? Don't nobody want shit. Everybody cool with just being whatever. You know what I mean? That I still had hope and I still was focused, and little shit like that allowed me to understand that like God was like, just keep your eyes on me, stay focused. Stay focused. You know? And then that moment come full circle because now I'm at the studio and I done met bro like several different times. So anyway, that's like a very condensed version of how I got here, but I came through some shit, but I kept my faith right and I followed my moral compass, and then we get here.
I feel like you've gone through a lot of like no's during your journey. Can you speak on that and why it's important for you to still keep pursuing even when you face a no? Because I feel like sometimes when people get no's to things that they really want, it makes them demoralized. Like, nah, this ain't for me. So can you speak on that? And do you have a story that you could speak to?
I would say more so than no's. I would say that when you on your journey, I made a decision that I was going to pursue a creative life when I was 19. I'm 32 now. It's been some time. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I would say it wasn't until like the last maybe 5 years that I like finally got a consistent job working at WTF where I'm getting paid from the creative space. I would say for anybody that's on that journey, like, when something good happens to you, hold on to that.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on to that and try to savor in that moment, and don't forget about that. You know, because I think the way God talks to us sometimes God is real loud, and God like really show you like, I'm real, you know what I mean? I'm real. God will love bomb you, and then there'll be moments where it's quiet though. And unfortunately, I can't speak for everybody, but like, unfortunately, as a believer, you know what I mean? Sometimes I go through those moments of quiet, and if I feel like it's too long, I start to get a little weary, you know what I mean? I start to get a little like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Which is unfortunate, because like God show you so many times that he real and he gonna come through for you, but time go by and then you start to question again. That's a normal part of the process, but understand that like, just don't lose the faith. You know what I mean? Don't lose the faith, because along your journey, again, that's why you got to stay consistent. You'll end up walking into something or experiencing something that'll charge you up again. You know what I mean? You'll end up like walking into something that will boost your morale and like raise your vibration again, you know? So the journey can be long. Like I said, I started when I was 19, bro. And I'm 32 now, and all I can say is that everything mattered, even when it didn't seem like it. Walmart mattered. I was stocking makeup, that mattered. I was working at Jamba Juice, that mattered. I worked at the security spot, that mattered. Everything mattered. It didn't seem like it. I wasn't sure. But hindsight 2020, everything was connected.
Yo. All right, I'm interrupting this podcast episode to let you guys know to leave a review on the podcast. Please, 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 if you are listening to this episode and you're finding value in this episode, you're enjoying the conversation, or you've enjoyed a previous episode or conversation, and it's safe to operate your phone right now, please leave us a review. Your review is a free and easy way to support us, and it helps us reach more people like you. We're on a mission to build a stronger, more connected Black community, starting with Black men. And you can help us on that mission by taking a minute out of your day to leave a review. Your review helps us generate more listeners, which in turn generates more revenue, allowing us to expand the platform even further. So please take a few seconds out of your day. I know you're busy. I understand. I know you're doing a lot, but it will help us greatly if you would just take a few seconds out of your day to leave a review right now. Did you leave a review yet? All right, let's get back to the episode.
It's a fact, bro. That's why I talk about my story when I started a Kizzle brand in 2017. I can't even call it a failure anymore. I always used to call it a failure. To be like, yo, this business failed. I didn't make no money. But you got to understand, certain things aren't set up for you to have for you to achieve the goals that you want. Sometimes God lines you up to do things that allow you to be able to step into what it is that you're going to get in the future. And it may seem like a failure, but really what's happening is the foundation is being built for you to stand on your future blessings. So like in 2017, I'm building this business. I'm not selling anything. I'm not really doing what I wanted to do. But what God wanted me to do is learn the process of actually starting a business,
100%.
Building a website, learning what tools you need, learning how to build merch, learning how to use Photoshop. Like all of those things, you get what I'm saying? Like all of those things came in handy when I started Express Yourself Black Man.
For sure.
Now, whereas we have platforms that are like, they have hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt because they built their platform on a certain specific piece of software or whatever the case may be. I don't ever have to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? Because I know how to build a platform where it's very cost effective. So we could charge a lot less for things. We don't have to, you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm always thinking about how to bootstrap. I was in the studio for mad long. And the whole time I'm in the studio, I'm like, this studio nice.
Yeah, of course.
I love these people in here.
Of course.
But I ain't staying here.
For sure.
This ain't it. This ain't it. Me coming out here for an hour and da-da-da. So I'm always figuring out like, okay, what's the next step from here? Which is why, again, I gave you flowers at the beginning, because I was thinking to myself like, nah, bro, you could do better than this, bro. Like, not even better, but like, you can set this up where it works better for you.
There's a better way.
Exactly. You get what I'm saying? So like, I always come back to that. Like, there's certain seasons where you're building your foundation. And in those seasons, I feel like God is quiet. Because he's like, yo, right now is not time for me to be stepping in and doing a bunch of stuff. Right now is time for you to, like, you got to lock in. So when he's quiet, like, this is, like, to me, I always take it that, all right, it's time for me to lock in and do some things. I got to lock in, focus on what it is that I'm doing. What is it that what hurdle am I trying to get over? now as you start paying attention to that, I feel like doors start opening slowly but surely, bro.
For sure.
And you'll know when you're in alignment, because then doors just start opening randomly. You start just finding people. People find you.
Ways too.
Yeah, like you just be doing whatever, and then somebody's pulling up to you and like trying to give you an opportunity. Like, what the hell? Like,
this is crazy.
Yeah, bro. You also talked about rejection being protection, bro. Can you speak to that? Like, what do you mean by that?
It's kind of like you said earlier. Like everything you didn't have, you didn't need. Right. So everything that doesn't work for you, every door that don't open, every relationship that ends, every money opportunity that don't work out for you, every situation, scenario where you got finessed, you know what I mean? Or anything, it's all pushing you forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like us with our mortal minds, we just look at it like negative, bad. You know?
Yeah.
I'm losing in life. It's like, nah, this is like a dash of so-and-so while we making this pot of what's eventually gonna be this incredible version of you that you overcome. You know what I mean? But rejection is protection, meaning like everything bad that happens to you is for the betterment of yourself. Everything, even if you don't understand it. Like I'm always quoting the scripture, and I don't actually know the scripture, but it's like somewhere in the Bible says, lean not to your own understanding and trust in all the ways that I do. And that really means that. You know, it is like essentially like I'm the general, you a soldier, like follow orders and just trust and understand. Like some stuff is above your pay grade. I don't pay you to think. You know what I mean? Some stuff I just pay you to, you do what I tell you to do.
Execute.
And you see it's gonna work out in your favor because I got this bird's eye view and I see things that you're not even aware of. As you look at life so one dimensional.
Tunnel vision.
You know, even with the intuition and the discernment and the foresight, the gifts that God give us, there's still things that you can't see.
I like the fact that you talked about that too, because there's two moments in my life. It's funny that they're both relationships where I think about like the rejection protecting me. I've never actually said this on the pod before, but it's very true. My first relationship was with Naima, who I'm engaged to right now, right? So my first relationship, we got into a relationship really young. We were 14 and 19, was in a relationship for 5 years. And I remember thinking to myself at that time, like I tell people this all the time. At 18, I knew I wanted to marry Naima. I knew at 18. I told everybody. You can't find a person that really knows me and knew of us in our relationship and ask them if I knew I wanted to marry her at 18, and they'd be like, no. Like, he didn't know. Like, no, I sat down with my parents in this very house, like, yo, how can we make this happen? And they tried to tell me, like, no, and I was not trying to listen to them. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, right, say all that to say, around that same time, my thought process was, yo, as long as I marry Naima and I find me, like, a good, like, stable 9 to 5, I'm good. Like, that's all I wanted out of life, bro. I swear to you, bro. I didn't even, like, I really was on some, like, 9 to 5, Naima, we straight. You feel me? Like, we're good.
Yeah, not asking for much.
I don't need much, God. 9 to 5, Naima. Yeah. That's all I need, God.
Yeah.
God was like, nah, bro. We ended up breaking up in college. I was devastated.
Yeah, that's usually when that happens. The breakup happens in college.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Devastated, bro. Devastated, bro. Depressed out of my mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was the worst period of my life, bro. Suicidal ideations, not wanting to be here. Like, I was trying to,
that's your heart, bro.
Yo, bro, I'm telling you, bro. I was like, nah, this ain't it. This can't be life. I was questioning God, bro. Why would you put me through this? Why would you put me through this? All of that I went through was to unlock my purpose. It was God protecting me from me.
Oh, for sure.
He was like, yo, bro, I've shown you your wife, but you are kind of,
you're doing too much.
You're doing too much with this. She's going to be there for you, but you got to lock in on your purpose. And me going through that depressive state, me going through that suicidal ideations made me realize there's more to life. And people are actually dealing with stuff. Like, you got to talk about this. And now that you actually experienced it, you know what it feels like. So that was one moment that really unlocked stuff for me, even though I really hated that time in my life and I was questioning God a lot. That moment, without that moment, we don't got this platform. You know what I'm saying? The next moment was I got into another relationship after that. Right? So it wasn't with Naima, it was with a different girl. Ended up being in that relationship for 2 years. She cheats on me. I'm noticing red flags in the relationship, but I'm like, I don't want to be alone. I need to be in a relationship. She ended up cheating on me. After that, we broke up. And I remember being upset, but I thought to myself, like, once I started getting into therapy and I was talking to my therapist and realizing, like, yo, bro, you really didn't even really like this relationship. You just liked the fact that you weren't single.
Yeah, you love the company.
I just liked the company.
it made me realize like, bro, like this is actually pushing you to now have to focus on your own healing, which again helped us with the platform, and being able to speak from a place of knowing what it looks like to be in a relationship where all you want is just to be in a relationship.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
It's not about building healthy relationship. It's not about building the future. It's like all I wanted to do was just have that companionship. So both of those moments, like the depressive moment when I was, after Naeem and I broke up, and then the getting cheated on after my ex and I broke up, like both of those moments helped us to build this platform. If I don't have those moments, like there's no way I'm able to relate to men the way that I'm able to relate to them on the platform. There's no way that I'm able to speak about certain things with the level of like passion that I have. And so like, I'm just saying all that to say like, bro, I know some people may be going through stuff right now and they're like trying to reason with God to try and understand why it's happening. And sometimes it's really just to put you and redirect you to where you're supposed to be versus where you are.
Go through it. There's a book called Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill is an ill white dude who died probably 100 years ago, but I listen to him on YouTube all the time. But he also is the author of Think and Grow Rich. I know a lot of people know that book.
Yeah.
But he wrote a book called Outwitting the Devil, and the whole book is about an interview of him interviewing the devil and asking the devil, how do you do what you do? You know what I mean? How do you have the impact on people? You know what I mean? And they get to this point in the book. You can listen to it on YouTube for free. It's 3 hours. Incredible book, bro. They start talking about failure. And failure is important because sometimes failure break you out of a rhythm. Sometimes you need failure to drop you on your ass so you can snap out of it and realize that you've been asleep this whole time. You get what I'm saying? And when I heard that, some things we know, and we know that instinctively, we know that, but when you hear it though, something about it makes it like, man, that's really, really, really true. Because when I think about my previous relationship and I think about how comfortable I was in that relationship, or I think about me being in my city and, certain things not going my way, which inspired me to try something differently. If I was comfortable, think about this. Even the people that's listening right now, there are some people, they've been good at school their whole life. They've been good at climbing the corporate ladder their whole life. They've never had a significant interruption, which is why they never changed. You get what I'm saying? They stayed. And some of them people are, unfulfilled. People are in like very high positions feeling unfulfilled. You know what I mean? It's like, I got this and I got that, but dang though, you know what I mean? Like I never really took the risk to see what it was like to go here, you know what I mean? Or just experience different things. And it's because they didn't have the failure for whatever reason. That's between you and God. But a lot of time when you get ripped away from your friendship, when you get ripped away from your job, when you get ripped, I became an entrepreneur because I was leaving one job trying to grab another one. And then I ended up leaving the one job and then didn't get the other job. And then it was like, dang, well, I guess I'm going to shoot music videos then. You know what I mean? And that allowed me to be an entrepreneur for the first time in my life for a year, making my own money for a year. And then it put me into like a proper mentality. Right. You know what I'm saying? But if I didn't lose that job that way, that probably would have never happened. And if I didn't become that entrepreneur for a year, I probably would have never moved to New York because I came to New York thinking I know how to make money by myself with my camera. You get what I'm saying? So that's what made me feel comfortable to make that move. But failure, it interrupts rhythms that we in. So sometimes you need to lose your girl. You need to lose your man. You know what I mean? You need to lose your connection, whatever that's tethering you to that thing, it needs to be cut. And sometimes you're not gonna like it. It's gonna suck because nobody ever wants to put their comfortability second. Right. You know what I mean? Because if we feel security in that, but the real security is not to be that dude, but I'm that dude. So the real security is in God. You know what I mean? So I got all my faith in like tangible objects and stuff like that. It's like that's where you fucked up. You know what I mean? So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take the rug from right underneath your feet. You're gonna fall. You're going to hit your ass, and then the impact of you hitting your ass is going to wake you up. It's like, yes, now start thinking. You know what I mean? Now start living because you was asleep behind the wheel. You was doing all the motions, but you wasn't conscious. Yeah. So Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. Please check that out. 3 hours on YouTube is free.
Nah, that was a beautiful breakdown of how failure helps us to propel us into new behaviors, new thoughts, new habits. And you spoke on like losing partners. I want to pivot a little bit and talk about relationships. There's something that you said that I think was really interesting when we talk about relationships. You talked about making women feel safe again.
Indeed.
What does that actually look like? Because I feel like we have those conversations and we don't actually get to like tangible, like what does it actually look like?
This is an outline that I wrote August 21st, 2024, 8:45 in the morning, right?
Okay. Early
in the brain be going, you know what I'm saying? All right, so look. the way you can make women feel safe again, from my perspective, this is opinion based. Number one, offer support without expecting anything in return.
Okay.
That's number one. Number two, understanding protection and control is not the same thing. That's two. Three, listen and validate women's stories. Four, challenge misogyny when you see it. That's a big one. That's the one, if you're, as a man, if you don't know where else you could start, that's the easiest place to start, because if you look to your left, in the church they say, neighbor, look to your left and your right, you see somebody perpetuating misogyny in some type of way.
Facts.
Right? 5, respect women's boundaries and personal space. That shouldn't even have to be said, you know what I mean? But this is how you make women feel safe. 6, educate yourself on what's going on. And 7, support women's choices. This is my idea of how you can make women feel safe again. And I said it again to play on Make America Great Again, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's how you make women feel safe.
I like that, bro. Can we talk about the difference between being a protector and being controlling?
Yeah.
What does that mean to you? Because I feel like a lot of men, they get caught up in thinking that protecting her is controlling her.
Protecting her is literally just offering provision and guidance.
Okay.
That's all protection means. You know what I mean? Even my sister, I could give her advice and tell her I don't think you should kick it with that dude. You know what I mean? I don't think you should be over here with these girls or these people. That's my protection and my provision for her. Controlling her is I'm not allowing you to go over there. You get what I'm saying? And I think that we got to be careful with this, because I think a little bit of both are necessary at different times.
Yes.
You know what I mean? 100%, so we got to be careful with that. Control is force. Protection is it's a flow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. Control is literally stopping something. Something I said on the podcast, if a man come into my house, without my permission, I control the situation by eliminating him in some type of way, whatever that looks like, right? That's control. I mean, but I'm protecting us. I'm protecting her. You know what I mean? So there's a flow and then there's a force. With women, it's you kind of got to understand, you got to always use your mind. It can never be by force. It always got to be by choice. You know what I mean? So if you in a woman's life and you trying to give her provision on something and she giving you a hard time, then you as a man get to decide whether or not you want to stay in the situation. You know what I mean? You can exercise that. You could be like, you know what? This don't work for me no more. This no longer aligns. This relationship don't suit me anymore. You can walk away. But the issue is a lot of dudes that get into a place where they try to control a woman. That doesn't, even if it works, it doesn't work for you.
Yeah, it doesn't.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even if it works, it doesn't work for you, because you end up chipping off petals of this flower, and by the time it's done, it's she becomes a shell of who she used to be. And that's coming from somebody who's contributed to that before.
I'm glad you said that, bro.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times men, when they hear these conversations that they're going through, or this is their thought process, they be like, oh, he's simple, blah, 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 whatever the case may be, right?
Yeah.
That's what we end up saying when we disagree with something that's calling us out, right? And I'm glad you said it, because you've actually gone through it. That's why I love speaking from a place of experience. It's not we just talking out of our ass out here, these are things that we've actually gone through. So this is why we're saying it the way that we're saying it. And I wholeheartedly believe and agree with you, because one of the things I've seen on social media that I think is so detrimental to relationships is this thought process that if you're a man and you're providing financially, that your woman or your partner should have no say in anything.
Yeah.
I've seen that a lot on social media. Well, if I'm paying the bills for this and that, then you don't got to say in it. What do you
Yeah, that's not it.
What human being do you know wants to live in an environment where they have no say in how the environment is managed? That doesn't make any type of sense. Yeah. That's a prison.
When they say that, it's like a almost there idea. It's I get what you saying, I get what you asking for, but you need to do some more thinking on that, because you eventually, once you earn a woman's respect, not to say that she gonna do whatever you tell her to do, but maybe she can feel so honored to be in the presence of somebody that she respects so much that she willingly be like, if that's what my baby wants, then I want the same thing, because that makes him happy.
Facts.
That's where you want to be, but you don't get there by control, though. You get there by showing and proving consistently. And then it becomes whatever he say, go. Because he the Don. You know what I mean? He's the boss. He's the leader. Why? Not by force. Because I choose him. I choose him as a woman. I have chosen him because he's shown me in different scenarios he's the right man for the job and I can trust him. And this is what I tell dudes all the time. If you feel like you're doing that, and you're still not seeing what you think that you should see in a proper amount of time, always understand you can walk away.
Yeah. You exercise your self-control.
That's all you got.
You get what I'm saying? But I think we try to externalize that because we don't want to make the decision to walk away. Because a lot of us, at the root of us being in a relationship, is us not wanting to be
We don't want to
single.
go nowhere.
Right.
I'd rather argue with you. I'm gonna tell you that I'm tired of arguing all day, but it's like, then why don't you walk away?
Right.
If you're really unhappy, you're really not getting what you think you deserve. What you deserve, you know what I'm saying? Then why aren't you walking away? But that's another thing. There's a lack of self-love because a lot of us at jobs, we should have been left. A lot of us. You've been there 3 years, they gave you 25-cent raise in 3 years. You should have been left. You know what I'm saying? But you cool with that because you cool with receiving less than your value though. And the same thing in relationships is like, if you really feel that way, every time you with the homies, you telling them about this. You telling your mom about this. You telling everybody about how they're not meeting you in the middle. You should walk away if you really feel like that. But we would rather deal with something that's underneath our value than be alone, though.
Yeah, that's a fact. And I think a lot of times on social media, we try to have the conversation where we talk about it from a woman's perspective when we talk about women needing to be in relationships and stuff. But we don't point the finger back at us. Like, that's why I always come back to that, because we be full of it, bro.
Of course.
We be full of it. I see some clips on social media. I'm like, bro, this is cat, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Like, only women need to be in relationships, and like all these random things that are said on social media to make it seem like we have more leverage than women for some reason. Like, I don't believe that at all. We desire to be in healthy, loving relationships just as much as, if not more, than women, if we're talking about heterosexual relationships. So, like, whenever I see content like that, I'll just be like, man, y'all not telling the truth, man. Because at the root of a lot of it, even the reason why you even having this conversation in the first place is because there's so many men that want to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
We derive our sense of worth from like, okay, yo, look at my shorty. Like, this is me. Like, as men, and I talk to my girl about this all the time. She's so intellectual and rational. She'll tell me like, yo, I know how guys are. Like, I know that when I show up somewhere with you, I'm a representation of you.
Always.
So they're gonna look at you and they'll size themselves up with you. But when they look at me and they see how I present myself, that says something about you and the type of man you are as well.
100%.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like, we're not comfortable just being alone and not being in relationships.
No.
We don't have more leverage than women when it comes to dating. Like, none of that is true.
Yeah.
And the sooner we realize on both sides, men and women, we're talking about heterosexual relationships, right? Sooner we realize on both sides that, yo, we need each other, the easier this whole dating thing will be. But because we all out here trying to pretend like, oh, I don't need to be, I don't need this person. Like, nah, bro, like, just be real. Like, I actually would like to be in a healthy relationship. I actually would love to be in a situation where I'm with somebody that's loving. I think the sooner we realize that, the easier it will be. And then the other thing I wanted to touch on that you mentioned that I think is so important, bro. Like, that consistency in a relationship is real, bro. Again, I've dated Naima twice. So I can speak to both versions of our relationship. When we were younger, I was very controlling. I saw what happened in that relationship. She checked out. She was like, yo, listen, she tried for a while. After a while, because you're trying to control a person so much and they're looking for a sense of freedom, they get to a point where it's like you get a wall gets put up, and there's no reaching that person anymore. There's nothing that you can really do to reset
That's
that.
a bad place to be.
Exactly.
That's a bad place to
It's
be.
clipped. That was our first relationship. That's why we ended up breaking up. Second relationship, which is a relationship now, I realized, yo, the way to getting to the space that I want to be in, where I'm getting that sense of respect and all these different kind of things, is not to try and force her to do anything.
Yeah, it's not by force.
It's to have conversations, continual conversations about where I'd like to be, what it is that I need to be doing, where we need to be going, and then showing through my actions that I am the man that I say I am, and I'm the man that you've gotten into a relationship with. So that's consistency on all fronts.
Everybody's not the same, right? So like for me, what I've realized that worked for me is being very clear about what it is you would like from this relationship and what you would like to work up to.
Facts.
I think that's really important for men because some men know in their mind what they want from this relationship, but in your mind, you might have a dynamic of what it should be between a man and a woman that she's never even thought about.
Facts.
You get what I'm saying? So
Facts.
you want something and you thinking because you're showing up in all these different areas that eventually she gonna see that, understand through a combination of all these good deeds and then get with your program. She doesn't even know what your program is. I think, again, we're so different as people. If there's something that you know you're looking for from the jump, share your vision with her. Because that'll save you a lot of trouble. Because one, y'all might get into a big conversation then, like, well, what exactly does that look like, and how do we apply that? And then you start to open up space for like why somebody feels like they can't do that, or a challenge they might face in trying to meet you there. You know what I mean? Based off of what they've experienced in previous relationships, how the dynamic was with their parents in the household that they grew up in.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, again, like I'm from the South. I come from a traditional value set, right? So I don't want the word submission to be a scary word. You know what I mean? So that's something that I want to talk about. You know what I mean? Like, I take a lot of pride in feeling like being a leader, a lot of pride in that. I don't know another version to really portray myself, even though you have to be a duality of all things, right? Because a man has to submit to his woman at times too. You know what I mean? That's very important to understand. But once I introduced that concept to her, now she kind of stands like, okay, I understand more about who he is and where we trying to go. You know what I mean? But again, like we're building on to, like I have done it the wrong way before. I've tried to rule with an iron fist. And again, like I said, I want to be careful with this because it's a gray area, because there are times where you do need to be steadfast on where you're coming from.
Facts.
And you do need to be assertive within proper context on what it is you're saying and what you're not comfortable with.
Right. Very few and far between, though.
Yes.
And this is the thing, right? I'm glad you said that, because it's true. I've had moments where I'm like, nah. Nope.
Within proper context. Always.
We ain't going for that. That's not happening. Like, I've had moments like that. But because, here's the thing, right? Because it's few and far between, when those moments happen, she's like, all right, cool. Because she understands, like, oh, nah, he don't do this all the time. So like, nah, let me chill. But if every single thing is like, it's almost like, it's so crazy. I talk to people that's married all the time. Whenever somebody tells me that they married for a while, I always ask them like, how? Because I want to know, right? They tell me all the time, you gotta pick your battles, bro. Like, that's what I think about with that. Like, everything don't need to be like, oh, I gotta have a, like, this has to be the thing that I die on this hill. Everything don't gotta be that. You gotta pick your battles. There's certain things, like, for me, that I know, like, we ain't going for that. And the only time for real where I really, like, stand firm on something is when it's going to either disrespect the relationship.
Of course.
Or compromise her safety.
Yeah.
Those are really the only two things I'm like, nah, we're not doing that. Now I got to be assertive and tell you like, nah, that ain't happening. Everything outside of that is really up for debate. You get what I'm saying? So like, and then the other thing that we've done too, and we did really early to your point about like having conversations, is we talked about what we don't want to do.
Yeah.
I talked to Naeem, I said, yo, listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't want to be cooking like that. Like, I could cook, don't get me wrong. And when it's time to cook, I'm a cook. Don't get me wrong. But I don't want to be cooking like that.
Yeah, for sure.
I value when Naima cooks for me and plates my food. Like, that to me is like love.
That's love, yeah.
That's love.
It go a long way with me.
It go a long, yeah, all right, cool, you want that back? Cool, we'll hit the car that, da-da-da. Like, we don't got to talk about nothing. You feel me? So I talked to her about that up front, and we had a conversation about that. She's like, and we legit talk. She's like, yeah, you know, I kind of got to get better at the cooking thing, and da-da-da. Not that I'm a bad cook, but I'm really not that confident. And then I was like, all right, cool. Like, I'm cool. I'm not saying you got to right now, all of a sudden, be cooking every single week. But I just want you to know, over the course of this relationship, I'm going to keep it stacked with you. I would like you to cook more than I cook.
You made your desires clear.
And then we had that conversation about like, okay, how do we get there? Yeah. And over time, it's kind of naturally happened.
Yeah.
And I don't want people to listen to this and think like, oh, Naima's always cooking and she's tired of it.
Yeah.
Nah, when there's moments where I know Shorty's tired, she's not cooking.
Yeah.
She's not doing anything. She's going to go chill. I'll cook. I'll plate the food. I'll do what we need to do in the house, take out the garbage, do the laundry, blah, blah, blah. I've done it before. I'm going to do it again. It's not anything that's abnormal to me, but I'm just saying, like, we had that conversation about like what we don't want to do, and she mentioned stuff on her end too. Naima don't like washing dishes.
Yeah.
I be washing dishes for the most part.
Yeah, that would be me too. I would wash the dishes.
Yeah, she don't really like washing dishes. So it's like, all right, cool. She gonna leave the dishes in the sink. I'm gonna see it. I don't get mad. I know in the grand scheme of things, like, this is really my chore.
Yeah.
She don't touch the garbage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She don't open her door.
Yeah.
Like, these are things that we talk about. So it's like, we made it so that our relationship is a culmination of all the things that we cool with doing and not cool with doing. Like, we, as the other partner, knows like, okay, this is what my partner is not cool with doing, and I have to kind of step into that role a little bit more. And I'm comfortable with that because up front, we kind of signed that contract.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Y'all talk about it before.
Yeah.
Save yourself a lot of trouble. Because imagine like a dude will be like, I'm paying bills, I'm doing all this stuff. And you think she's supposed to just get it over time. Like, she gonna start cooking. She might feel like Naima and be like, that's at the moment where I'm at, that's maybe not really my thing for real. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So it's like she never gonna work till you ain't asking. You know what I mean? So bro, listen, go to a wine bar, get you a bottle of wine, have you a good conversation. What's going on? How you feel? What's the vibes? You know what I mean? Like, what have you been through? What did you come through? Where you at? What do you want? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get you a little $40 bottle of wine and take your time, man.
Nah, fact. Those conversations are needed. Yeah. You talk about submission, and I think that's an interesting concept. I think sometimes it gets taken out of context, and like people start. There's a lot of things that happen when we start talking about submission. But I want you to talk about like being a man that she can submit to. I know you talked about that before.
Yeah.
And I think it's a very interesting concept and thing that you've mentioned. So what does that mean to you, and how do we get there as men?
It's just trust.
Okay.
That's what it means. It means to trust me around the board. You know what I mean? And if it's something where you're not really sure, we can talk about it. Because that don't even mean, just because you got more questions don't mean you don't trust me. It's like you're curious. You're a human being, like you alluded to before. Like, you're not a servant. You're not a slave. You know what I'm saying? But submission means trust, though. You know what I mean? Because it make a man feel good. But again, you have to earn your way up to this place in a woman's life, though. So when I say submission, a woman submitting to me looks like a point of resistance to me. You know what I mean? Her going with the flow with me. You know what I'm saying? Versus fighting me on everything. You know what I mean? Like, if I say, I want to do this, I think we should do this, right? You feel comfortable to go with that because of the character that I've demonstrated and the way I've demonstrated myself and the consistency within my character and who I am, you know what I mean? You feel comfortable to go with that, you know what I mean? Or if I say, I don't think we should do that, you'd be like, okay. You know what I mean? Okay, you know what I mean? I'm not even that, as a woman, I'm not even that invested into it because my connection to you and what I want for you and what I want for us is so strong that the masculine man that you are, if that's what you're saying, like, okay, you know what I mean? But there's a time where I think you should take another guess at it. Maybe you're not thinking about everything there is to think about when it comes to that. Then we get into a dialogue and we figure out, well, what makes sense for us, because I'm willing to submit to her too. You get what I'm saying? Like, if she giving me her word on something, she like, I don't think you should do that. You know what I mean? I don't think they're good people. You getting ready to make this investment. I don't think you should do that. You know what I mean? And I'm going to listen and take very strong heed to what she got going on. You know what I mean? And I would say probably majority of times than not, though, I'm probably going to go with exactly what she's saying. You know what I mean? Because she has earned my trust in that way. And I believe that she wants the very best for me. So submission to me just means trust. You know what I mean? And that makes a man feel good when he know that he could take the wheel, like we taking the left. She's like, cool, let's go.
Yeah.
We taking the left.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's trust though.
Yeah, you getting, like you said, you do got to build that, bro.
You got to build that.
Man, so interesting. Naima submitting to me has also made me realize areas where I need to be a better leader, too. Because there's been certain situations that will happen where she's expecting me to take the lead on stuff, and she's cool where I want to go. And then I'm unsure. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's happened multiple times where, like, it's time for me to make a decision on something, and I'm not really sure what I should do. But she's like, yo, listen, I'm with whatever you want to do. And I'm like, I don't really know. You know what I mean?
That's common too.
Yeah.
Common.
And I think in those moments, like, you gotta go back to God, bro. Gotta go back to God, bro. We've had moments where it's like, there's big decisions coming up. And she's like, yo, listen, I'm gonna let you lead on this because, like, this is basically your area. This is where you're supposed to really lead.
And that's submission.
People don't talk about this side of submission. Like, it's cool to have a shorty, like, it's cool to have your partner be like, I'm with you 100% on whatever decision you make. It's also a lot of responsibility.
It's a lot of responsibility.
It's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
You got to realize, like, the decisions you're making are not only impacting your life, it's impacting your shorty's life.
Yes.
And you're also responsible for your shorty's safety and so many different aspects. I tell Naima this all the time. Like, there's certain things I will not do when I'm with Naima. Like, I'm not driving crazy when I'm with Naima. And sometimes she gets upset. She's like, yo, why you ain't take that light? Why you ain't do this? I'm like, babe.
Because your life in my hands, right?
Yeah, exactly. And God forbid something ever happens to you, I got to answer to your parents.
Oh, God.
I got to explain to them why I did that.
Oh, God.
You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't play with Naima ever.
It's crazy you took it there because I was literally going to say it's like driving.
Nah, facts.
It's like driving. It's like your life is in not our hands.
Yeah.
It's in my hands.
Yeah.
Mine and mine alone. Anything that go wrong on this,
is me.
My hands was behind the wheel. You know what I mean?
Facts.
I'm the number one thing that can make or break a situation us seeing the next day, being in this car. But that's a great metaphor for the responsibility of being a leader. It's like, understand, like, if you're gonna lead, if you're gonna ask a woman to submit in certain areas, because that's her being like in the Bible would say, when you get married, you become one flesh, right? It's like, okay, come on, one flesh. You know what I'm saying? Come on. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
It's a lot that comes with it that we don't talk about. It's cool to say, yeah, I want my shorty to submit to me. Do you understand the gravity of decisions, you know what I'm saying, that you making? Like, do you understand how you're shaping the fabric of her life, and how impromptu decisions and like you not being consistent and disciplined, it's a lot that goes into it. You can't just take it lightly.
Shaping the fabric of her life, gang.
Nah, facts though.
That's the bar right there, because
Facts.
it's like, a lot of the time as a man, it's like, listen, it's easy to think, because ain't nothing free in America. You got to work hard for everything you get in America. So if you living with your shorty, you provide, you doing rent, you doing car note, you all that, you think as a man, that take a lot of work, right? And it do. And it is a sacrifice, bro. You know what I mean? And you do deserve some recognition, but understand that, like, on a spiritual level though, paying the rent and paying the bills is not the same thing as like leading us to our purpose.
It's not even close.
It's not even close. So you maintaining. And shout out to you for maintaining.
Facts.
You deserve respect for maintaining.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because some people can't even do that.
Yeah.
But understand, like, if you really want to entertain the idea of a woman submitting to you, the first thing you really gotta know or begin to ask God is, where am I going in my life? Because as a man, if you're not going to a place of more abundance, no matter what that looks like, your place of more abundance can look very different than mine and vice versa, but it needs to be in that direction though.
Right.
It needs to be somewhere in that place on the GPS. If you're not leading her to more abundance, more safety, more living in our truth, right? Like, we going somewhere where we gonna sink a layer deeper into what God called us to be. You get what I'm saying? If you're not taking her there, spiritually, whether she knows it or not, subconsciously or consciously, she cannot fully submit to you, because after a while, the money gonna get old. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, he paid the car note. This is the 20th time he did it, but it's like, you again, you deserve respect for that. But it's understand, like, the thing that you really, every man want, you got to be a great man to get what you're looking for. Like, to get to really get what we want from women, you got to sign up for that, for the road of greatness, bro. And if you're not signed up for the road of greatness, then why would you ever expect greatness from her? Honestly.
She following your lead. If you think about it, for real.
Where
like,
are you taking me?
If you really think about it, bro, like, you can't, and I've said this before too, this is a principle that I live by. You can't expect something in a relationship that you're not able to give yourself.
Where are you taking me, sir?
That's very important,
Where
bro.
are you taking me? Because where are you taking me? Like, are we just, not to say every man got to make $1 million, or I don't care about making $1 million. You know what I mean? I want to make one. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, just contradicting myself. But you know, not every man has to like build skyscrapers, and you know, that doesn't have to be your life. You know what I mean? But like, just wherever you taking her, let it be a good, let it be better than where you found her. It can't just be about her serving to make your purpose come to life. How are you going to bring hers to life too? You know what I mean? And then that comes in proper partner selection, because it's like, do you have a partner who has an aspiration for better things in life? You know what I mean? Because some people are with people who they cool with this and only this, and that's cool as long as that's what you want too. Again, you got to be equally yoked with your partner.
I'm so glad you talked about like them not just helping us to get to a level that we want to get to, but like us also thinking about what they want out of life.
100%.
Very important, bro. Because
100%.
when you're planning, again, we're shaping the fabric of their life as well. We can't just all be about like, well, okay, this will work good for me, so let's just, nah, bro. Nah, because at the end of the day, a leader has to be mindful of all of his constituents. It gets even more complex when you start having kids. You get what I'm saying? Because again, that's another added responsibility that you got to make sure you're effectively leading and navigating properly, because you're shaping the fabric of not only her life, but now the kids as well. So again, saying all that to say, like, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with having a woman, anybody, submit to you and your leadership. And if you are not a man that is in tune with where he wants to go, that responsibility can not only destroy you, but it can destroy them. Sometimes God is protecting you
by not allowing them to submit to you. Because the weight of the guilt, disappointment, depression, all the things that you would actually feel if they were to submit to your leadership and you were to lead them astray would be probably so heavy that you probably wouldn't even want to be here anymore. So it's probably better that y'all do break up or whatever the case may be, and you get yourself together where you're in a space where you're actually able to lead effectively, than you have someone submit to you when you're not ready to be submit to.
Because that's going to be too much for you to bear if you fuck that up.
Facts, bro.
Be a lot on your conscience.
Facts, bro. And so, like, I think we got to really, when it comes time to us having these conversations, we got to really be mindful of both sides of it. Yes, it's great to be like, all right, cool, we're going to turn left. Shorty going to be cool with that.
Yeah.
But also on the flip side of that is like, damn, when we turn left, I got to be mindful. There might be a pothole there. Like, there might be a car there. Like, I got to be mindful of all the objects and distractions and, you know, all the things that are on that path so that wherever we're going, like, I know shorty safe, family safe, we good. I take that very, very seriously, bro. You mentioned something about dating. Can you talk about like dating with intention versus ego? What does that mean to you?
Dating with intention versus ego. Well, this is the thing. We're living in a real crazy world, bro. And everybody has, you know, nobody's a monolith. Everybody wants different things. So my background is Christian, right? I'm a Christian. So dating intentional for me means marriage. You know what I mean? Now, we're living in New York City, one of the most diverse melting pots on the planet, not even America. You know what I mean? So dating with intention could look real different to a lot of people. But to me, seeking long-term partnership for the people that are not Christian or Muslim or whatever you got going on, you know what I mean? Seeking long-term partnership. That's what dating intentional is. Like, so if I see a woman, you know what I mean? And I'm listening to her. I'm listening. I'm using my discernment and my intuition to try to see the context of her heart, the context of her spirit. What's that mind like? You know what I mean? How are you thinking? You know what I mean? What have you been through? How has what you've been through changed you for the better or for the worse? Like, what experiences have you had? How have you challenged yourself? Like, what creative things have you done? You know, all of these different things to make a decision about, is this the person that I'm going to mix blood with, essentially? Like, am I going to procreate with this person and create a new generation from our union? Right. That's intentional dating. Anything outside of that is just having fun. You know what I mean? So I guess that's ego. You know what I mean? But like, you get to a place, and it's so getting older is a beautiful thing to experience. Like, my grandma always told me, man, just keep living. And it's such a great point of wisdom, because you have your fun until you realize that having fun, if you haven't had enough of it, then you just haven't had enough of it. It's hard to tell you this if you haven't had enough. But eventually you get to a place, if you're not there yet, mark my words, where having fun just feels like Groundhog Day. It feels like repeating the same day over and over and over again, and it never actually gets a step forward.
Essentially, it feels like wasting time.
It's essentially what it is. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, new girl, you're going to go through the same thing with her. That's going to end. But you want companionship. All people want companionship. There's very few of us that really shut ourselves off from society, though people do that. So it's like, okay, that girl didn't work out. New girl, doing our thing, da-da-da. This one was a year. Okay. New girl, this one was 6 months. New girl, this one was 3 years. Nothing really turns into like really going the distance, though. You know what I mean? So like, intentional dating allows you to claim somebody as your family. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, like, through it all, the ups and the downs, I'm going to always share this memory with you. There's a person that I can relate to with all this shit that I've been going through the last 10 years of my life, because they my family. Versus you just like switching out different people. But that's what happens when you're having fun. Like, it doesn't amount to nothing really. And for me, it's like, people are so beautiful, bro. Like, you get tired of having beautiful people in your life, and then it don't amount to nothing. Because then it's like, dang, like, how many more bodies I'm going to go through until I find my thing? You know what I mean? Like, how many more bodies? Like, I'm going to go through 4 other dope women. I'm going to have great memories with them. They all going to make me laugh. They all going to make me smile. The sex is going to be great. We're going to have great vacations together. You know what I mean? They all met my mom, or they didn't meet my mom, or they know my deepest, darkest secrets. And then they eventually leave, though.
Yeah.
Not to say, obviously people get divorced. I understand that. But like, at least you got to take some pride from being intentional about something, even if it don't work out. You know,
right.
Like, I can deal with the fact that I lost, knowing that my intention was to win. I could deal with that. Versus some people, it's like, you just came in here just like, kind of like, what, you just came in here like whatever. Like, you know, whatever happens, it's like, nah, like, I came here to get the trophy. If I don't get the trophy, okay, somebody else got it, but I came here on the championship mindset though.
Facts, bro.
Yeah.
Facts. I like the way you broke that down at the end, bro.
Yeah.
I like that. Championship mindset only. We not going into the season not thinking about the ring.
It's gonna be hard going through this life without being. I mean, maybe marriage is not your thing, maybe it is, but I'm gonna tell you something, bro. After a while, man, you just want somebody to be with you, and you don't. It's like I don't want to go out at the club.
Yeah,
like I don't want to be out on the prowl in that same capacity. You know, I don't want to be on dating apps. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to do all that. Like I want somebody who just really rock with me, but me. I want to play these games.
Yo, bro.
These games, and then I'm dealing with a girl who, because she not my main. She like, well, nigga, you not my main. So then she got people, you got people, and then it's like there's a lot going on. You know, it's like, listen, I want to take the best way I know how, and I want to just move to the side and find me a family member. You know what I mean? Like once you get married, once you find your person, like shorty is your family.
That's fact.
Y'all are family.
Yeah.
It's beyond all the extras. This is family. Like,
yeah,
we gonna care for each other in a whole different kind of way.
Yeah.
That's special, bro. You know,
very, bro.
That's
very. I will never downplay that, bro. Like I told you, I do not play about Naima, bro.
Yeah.
I don't play about Naima.
She don't play about you.
And she exactly, bro. She don't. It's so interesting, bro. When we talk about dating, bro, I'd be like, man, I'm so glad I'm not out here dating. Like, bro, it is not.
That's wild, bro.
I don't want to be out here dating, bro.
That's wild, bro.
It is not. It don't like. For the folks that's in relationships, I just gotta say this. Because there's somebody that's in a relationship right now, you got a dope person. But you hanging around some single folks that's making single life look attractive
than it is.
Look sexy. I'm keeping it a stack with you, bro. The grass is not greener. It is not greener. I've had enough conversations with single folks. When you actually really sit down with someone that's single, it don't matter how lit they are. Y'all be having horror stories, bro.
Hey, bro.
I'm not trying to live in no damn horror movie, bro. My movie is a family movie, PG-13.
Yeah, it's a good ending to my movie.
Facts. I don't need no rated R. I don't need no thriller. I'm good, bro.
Have you ever seen I Think I Love My Wife by Chris Rock?
Nah.
I knew you was going to say that. Watch that movie.
Okay.
If you in the single world, you in the single universe, go watch I Think I Love My Wife by Chris Rock. Excellent movie. Ain't even going to tell you nothing. Just trust my word. Trust my word, go watch that movie.
Nah, but not for real, bro. I just wanted to say that because I know there's somebody out there that's like, that's thinking about it, that's getting tempted, that's like, yo, I don't know, this might not be it, da-da-da, but I'm telling you right now, brother.
Hey, bro.
It ain't it. You don't, like, let me say this. There's some people that, like, in a relationship right now, you know that they just say, this is not it.
Yeah.
For sure, okay, you need to be single.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the people, you got a shorty that's dope. Stop. For lack of better words, stop fucking around. Stop thinking you're going to go out there and find something better, because you're not. I done did it. I did it for you. I went out there, thought I was going to find something better. Got cheated on, brother. You don't.
So you ain't have to do it.
Yo, exactly. I did it for you. You don't need to go get cheated on. You don't need to be out here dealing with shorties that's not really for you. You got a shorty that's for you. Take care of your business, handle your business, take care of your family member.
It's the Wild Wild West, bro.
It's not, you don't want to be out here in these streets, bro. I'm telling you, I don't want to be out here.
I got stories that we're going to say for the Patreon version of this, but I'm telling you, listen, it's all fun and games until you waiting 2, 3 o'clock in the morning for somebody who's supposed to come at your house at 10, bro, just for them to hit you and be like, I'm not coming.
Yeah, I don't see, this is what I'm saying, bro. This is what I'm saying, bro. This is what I'm talking about, bro. I don't have time for that.
It's all fun and games till you... Bro, it's all fun and games until you're dealing with somebody and you realize they got a boyfriend.
See, this is what I'm talking about, bro.
You know what I mean?
My heart not built like that.
And I know rap perpetuate like, yeah, I'm another nigga. You know what I mean? And that's like, yeah, but like in real, I don't got the heart for that.
I don't have it.
I don't want to get killed by nobody. That's one. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, people don't play about their person.
Yeah.
They don't play about their people. You know what I mean? So it's all fun and games until you realize, like, oh, you were part of some mess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or, bruh, it's all fun and games until you vibing with somebody and you realize they really got deep, dark secrets. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like,
or it's all fun and games until you're dealing with somebody and you realize they don't take care of their body the right way. Sometimes being single is fun, bro. Like, there's a lot of pluses to it, for sure. There's a lot of pluses to it, but like, there's a lot of other dark stuff. And then it's hurting people, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like they just not dealing with their real issues. So I was like, I'm gonna just sleep with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just sleep with you because I miss somebody who don't want me or something like that. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you.
Bro.
Yeah.
You done dealt with it.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest and say, like, there's a lot of stuff I haven't dealt with, you know what I mean? But I've definitely experienced some things. Like, I'm gonna say everything I experience is nothing compared to what I've actually heard from other people.
Oh, for sure.
You know?
That's what I'm saying. Well, that's why I said what I said. Because I realized, like, yo, bro, it ain't sweet out here. As much and it's the devil, bro. I'm telling you, bro. I swear to you, I don't use that for, a lot of people be using that for random stuff. You know what I'm saying? You just trip. Oh, it's the devil. Like, relax, buddy. You just trip. Relax. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, it's the devil. Cause you'll go through something in your relationship, they're like, damn, these niggas outside and they lit. You ever seen that SpongeBob meme where Squidward and he's in his crib and SpongeBob and Patrick outside? That's how your life be feeling. Like, you in a happy, healthy relationship, but you feeling like Squidward not having fun with SpongeBob and Patrick. Because the devil's out here telling you, nah, outside is lit.
It's not. I mean,
so that you don't tend to your household.
Well, the thing is, like, outside is lit, but then it comes with fine print, though. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then another thing that dudes be misunderstanding is, like, you could be dealing with a girl and y'all got a little situation going on and you happy with that situation for right now. It's like, I'm single, she's single, we got our thing going on. But one thing you gotta understand, and I done heard this from two people on my podcast that done put me on game. Women are, it's funny, bro, because women are looking for love. Mm-hmm. No matter how damaged the woman is, no matter what she's been through, women want to be kept women. They don't want to be out here on the streets. They do not want to. They're only doing that because they feel like they've been left with no other choice, whether that's true or not, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes as a man, you can have like a little roster of women, and then as a nigga who has prolifically kept a nice little roster on him, you know, prolifically. Nobody wants to stick around just to be your side thing. Mm-hmm. Nobody wants to stick around and just be a when you hit me up type of girl. No girl wants to be that. Mm-hmm. So eventually, you always got to like bring new people into your roster, bring new people into your rotation because them people serious about finding something. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So eventually you could really vibe with a girl, really connect with the girl, but then one day you're not going to be able to reach her no more because she don't got time to wait around. So she's going to go and finish her life. She's like, okay, he don't want me, but I found somebody who do. And so it's like single life, it's like it is lit, but the fine print is it can become very lonely too because you realize like everybody doing what's best for them. Mm-hmm. No matter what that looks like. And oftentimes you are always going to come on the bottom line of that. So what do you have to do? You keep filling it in with new people. But then that's why I said every day is Groundhog Day. You know what I mean? Because it's like, how many new people are you going to go through for this? Bro, I know people know this. You go through this so much, bro. It's like you can't even, like you going to give your best to everybody? Like, you gonna give your best to everybody? At some point, you telling the same jokes, you telling the same stories, you doing the same finesse, you doing the same trick. And it mean less, and it mean less, and it mean less to you. It means less and less and less to you. And then it's like you get to a point in your life where you realize, like, man, the sex not worth it. Now, that's a real mindfuck. That's a real mindfuck. Because all the movies and all the music perpetuates one thing, that the sex is absolutely worth it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You can never have enough sex. You can never have enough. Slay them all, grab them all. And that's cool up until you realize every day is like Groundhog Day. You know what I'm saying? And then you realize like, oh, what I need is a connection. Right. I need a connect with a real person. There's only one way you can really get that. You know what I mean? By, once again, being intentional. You know what I'm saying? You asked me earlier, like, what's the difference between dating with intention or ego or however you phrase it. You got to be an intentional dater. So you said it's the devil. This shit is a trap, bro. You know what I mean? And the book, last thing I'm going to say on this.
No, you're good.
Is the book by Napoleon Hill called Outwitting the Devil. When Napoleon asked the devil how he finesses people into these positions, the devil tell him, I don't make nobody do nothing. You know what I'm saying? I don't make you do nothing. I can't make you do nothing. It's like all the vampire movies when like a vampire trying to come in your crib. Vampire can't come into your crib unless you get granted access, right? We get burned by the same things we was enjoying the heat by. You know what I mean? Like we get burned by these things. We overstay our welcome. It's like gambling. Like you're supposed to lead a party at when it's high. I mean, not when it's low. You get what I'm saying? So we end up getting hurt by the same thing that's entertaining us. And that's how the devil finesse you, because all the devil do is offer you what you want. Like the difference between a good man and a man who fucked up in the game really is not that different. Like a good man wants sex just like the nigga who fucked up in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like a good man might like getting drunk just like a nigga who fucked up in the game. A good man might like doing a whole lot of shit that the fucked up man like doing. But the difference is though, you gotta know, you gotta pick your battles. You gotta know when to hold them and fold them. You gotta know when it's okay to have a little bit and when you're overindulging too much.
Fact.
And too many of us is overindulging in the fucking finesse of sex. Cause then sex is like gambling. It's like, bro, this is a numbers game. You can only do this so long until you lose. And losing looks like, I know disrespect when I say this, but losing looks like a baby with the wrong person. Let's say you're wrong person. Catching something, you know what I mean? Or getting caught up in a relationship with somebody for a long time you was never supposed to be with. You're supposed to just be cool with this person. And now you've been with this person for longer than you were supposed to be. You still got caught up. You still got distracted. You was on your way to route Highway 135, and now you done took a detour 700 miles this way. 5 years down that road, now you finally wake up because you fell on your ass. Now you got to take 500 miles all the way back just to get to the starting line of where you was initially going the whole time. So yeah, you got to, it is fun being single, but there's fine print to it though.
Yeah. Bro.
I'm just trying to be real.
Nah, I love that, bro. And I think it's so important that you speak to that because, again, a lot of folks think that single life is lit. It ain't lit, bro.
Niggas know.
It ain't lit.
If you don't know, you ain't been doing it long enough.
Yeah.
Promise. Niggas know. Niggas do know, though.
We got a tradition on the pod, bro. We got to wrap. So this is the last question I'm going to ask you.
Let's do it.
What would you say to a black man that's struggling right now?
Get some good food into your body because a lot of the time the food, your brain is in your gut. You know what I'm saying? So get some good food into your body because that's going to help you. It's going to help your perspective. You know what I'm saying? Perception is reality. Personality is your personal reality. You can't have a personal good reality if you putting fucked up shit inside your body. So get you some good food. Cut them niggas off that don't need to be in your life. You know what I mean? Because a lot of time we be around niggas, we supposed to cut them off too, but we don't want to be alone. Cut them niggas off. You know what I'm saying? Get around some new people. Get you some information in your mind. You know what I'm saying? Get you some good information. Learn something. Educate yourself. Get you some sleep, nigga. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not sleeping, I hope you're working hard at something productive. You know what I mean? But just you know, surround yourself around stuff that's gonna help you get better. You know what I mean? If that relationship not right for you, get out of it. You know what I mean? But definitely pray, drink a whole lot of water, get you some sleep, get you some information. I don't like to, I've read a lot of books. I've read enough books to realize that sometimes reading books can bore me a little bit. So I listened to Napoleon Hill, Outwitting the Devil on an audiobook on YouTube for free. You know what I mean? I was in the house minding my business. It was 3 hours. So that's what I would say if you're having a hard time. But that number one piece is pray. This is the last thing I'm going to say.
No, go ahead.
I feel like God recently kind of reminded me, like, start praying with me heavy again. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like God recently just kind of reminded me that, like, if you stay focused on me, you're going to always see how real I am, right? Because the other day, I was talking to my man, and this wasn't necessarily prayer, but this routed me to prayer. And I've been praying a lot more lately because I was with my mans, and I'm a big fan of the rapper Currency. And my mans was telling me that he don't really like Currency. And I spent like 30 minutes that night, we was out telling him how he was bugging. Next morning, I woke up, and I was listening to Currency that whole morning, and then I sent him a voice message. I was like, bro, you bugging. The very next day after that, Currency came through the studio, and I met him. And what that taught me, very kind of like what meeting A$AP Rocky, you know what I mean? What that taught me is like when you focus on God, there are things that can come from this. Like, what are the chances of that happening? Me meeting Currency. Like, Currency is like top 5. Like, he means a lot to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a living legend to me. So to be in his presence means a lot to me. But the only way that happened was because of God, though, truthfully, though. And so I feel like that was God being like, focus on me. You know what I mean? Keep your eyes on me. You know what I mean? Because when you stay rooted in me, you see the things that's something to you, that ain't nothing to me. I can make that happen easily. So for the men out there, like, keep your eyes and your mind focused on God because crazy things will come from it. Crazy things. So that's what I would say.
Man, Wolf, man, I love this conversation, bro. I really hope people find a lot of value in it.
Me too, man.
Can you tell the people where they can find you, how they can tap in with you, anything you got coming up?
Listen, I'm dropping episodes whenever I feel like it because I try to do it once a week and that's a little hard. You know what I mean? So I drop the episodes when I get ready to. My name is Wolf Taylor. I have the Halfway Up podcast. I call it Halfway Up because you never finish rising. Again, it's another way of saying it's not about the destination, but it's about the journey. And we just always talking about or trying to find conversations that will be timeless. You know what I mean? Sometimes that's why I can't drop every week, because something hasn't genuinely hit me yet. But when something does, I talk about it, and I hope that it resonates with people for years to come. Like, I hope the things that I'm doing today mean something to a boy who's 13, 10 years from now. Like, I hope so. That's the goal, because as long as this world's spinning, we're going to keep going through the same problems. You know what I mean? So that means that this will be useful to somebody. You can follow me at _Wolf Taylor. I don't have a halfway up Instagram, so it's just _Wolf Taylor, but halfway up on everything: Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. And please, bro, come fuck with me. If you listen to it, if you made it to this point of the podcast, come find me, please. Send me a DM. Let me know. Leave a rating and review on his podcast. Let the people know how you feel about this podcast, and spread the word of this podcast. You know, whatever you can do to push this podcast forward, please try to do that. And if you can't do nothing but just leave a rating and a review, just do that. If you can't do that, just leave a comment underneath the reel.
That's a fact.
Like a picture, share a reel, anything, whatever you can. That's what I'm gonna say though.
That's a fact, bro. And I'm gonna give you something to add to your pitch. You could take it if you want to.
For sure.
You don't have to take it for sure. You say you drop episodes when you want to. The way I would think about that is you're trying to drop classics. You're trying to hit home runs and not singles.
For sure.
And I think a lot of times with people that drop in episodes all the time, even with me, sometimes I'm like, I'm gonna just hit the single real quick, just for the sake of consistency.
For sure. For the sake of
you,
consistency.
you know what I'm saying? But you want some, I want to hit a home run. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. It's just different approaches to get to the same destination, bro.
I'm growing more comfortable with that idea these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wolf, my brother.
Man.
Good having you, bro. Good having you, bro.
Thank you so much for watching this episode. If you are planning an event or you are part of your organization's Black employee group and you are interested in having dope Black mental health professionals or myself come in and do a speaking engagement or a workshop or a keynote address or a panel, please click the link in our bio on Instagram or TikTok, scroll down and click book us for speaking and brand deals and fill out the form available on our website. Once you fill out the form, one of our team members will get back to you about how we can collaborate and create something dope for your organization. This is an unparalleled opportunity. We are currently the largest Black men's mental health platform, and we have a few slots available for our calendar year, and we would love to partner with you to create something dope for your organization if it makes sense for both parties, right? So go to the link in our bio, scroll down, click book us for speaking and brand deals, and fill out that form. If you're not on Instagram, the link should be linked in our description of this episode. And it is also on our website. If you go to expressyourselfblackman.com/speaking-brand-deals. That's expressyourselfblackman.com/speaking-brand-deals. If you are looking for a therapist, a Black therapist, and you've had a hard time finding one, you've jumped from therapist to therapist, or you just don't know how to find a therapist, we are teaching a free webinar. It's completely free, taking you from not knowing how to find a therapist, not knowing where to search for therapists, struggling with finding good therapists for you, not knowing what to look for in therapists, teaching you all of those different things, and also giving you the opportunity at the end of the webinar to be connected with one of our safe haven healers who are Black mental health professionals so that you do not have to go through the struggles of finding a Black therapist alone anymore, right? So if you're interested in that, you want to get connected with a Black mental health professional at the end of the webinar, or you just want to learn how to find a Black therapist by yourself, you can sign up for the free webinar. It's linked in our bio on Instagram and TikTok. You just click that free webinar link once you click the link in our bio and fill out the form. You can also find it on our website at expressyourselfblackman.com/links and fill out the form there for our next webinar session. If you're not interested in any of that, right, but you know someone that may be interested in it, all we ask is that you please share it. If you want some of the merch that we show on the platform all the time, that we're wearing on the platform all the time, you can shop it at shop.expressyourselfblackman.com. And once again, we just want to say thank you so much for watching this episode. Thank you so much for supporting us. Please, if you are on YouTube, leave a like, subscribe, comment. If you're listening to this on an audio platform, please leave a review. It helps us out greatly. Thank you so much for your support. We're wishing you nothing but the best and sending you and your family and your loved ones love and light. Peace.
Sometimes I know you feel like you ain't got nobody to speak to. A shoulder to lean on somebody you could preach to. No, you need to hear it, my brother, I love you. We got way too much to live for.